And we're going to start class. My name's Jonathan. The next 65 minutes or so, we're going to go through a series of workouts that are gentle, yet work essential parts of the body, so they're very efficient. We can stay in a gentle mode, or we can work in a more challenging mode. We'll develop kind of a repetitive exercise similar to this one I'm doing right now, if you want to just follow along. And then we'll make it more and more challenging, so you can back off as needed. This exercise, let's just work on gentle mobility, and then once we've warmed up, the static stretch. Now I say static, but we could add to this. We could add a push with the leg, so we fire up those leg muscles, those hip muscles, and find the muscles that we're looking to stretch. Find that strength and put the stretch there. Don't avoid that strength, find it, and that's where the best stretch goes. That's the most efficient because it's the biggest part of your body. So we're looking for efficiency. Another dynamic thing we can do with the static stretch is the good morning stretch. Good morning stretch out the top of the head, from the tip of the tail to the top of the head, and rest. Leg press, good morning stretch, and rest. Couple more. Good. And we could do that stretch at different points where we have different depth of mobility, but finding where your strength is and working there is one of the best ways to work that. Sitting like this is very gentle. Notice my hips are not perfectly flat on the mat. That's not essential. It's asymmetric, and we do symmetric workout as well as asymmetric, but in this case, I want you to zip up like you got that perfectly fitting pair of jeans. You could still eat a nice meal in them, but you do have to hold it in just a little bit, That's one of the essences of holding good posture, is maintaining a little bit of a work. I'll just bring the back leg around. If you can just get to the front of the knee, that's fine, but if you can notch it in past the knee, that's really nice. We're gonna ignore the lower body for a moment. It's intense what's going on down there. We're gonna focus on the upper body, the upper of the upper body, in fact. Let's do a good morning stretch. Reach out. Now add a little twist. Back and forth, twist, back and forth. The lower body, the legs and hips are working real hard. The middle of the body, the lower core, is rotating and working hard. And the upper core and the arms are on vacation. So we've got isolation, one part of the body to another. And let's switch sides. We'll start just sitting. This is a nice way, gentle way to do a hip opener. You can do it on one side or the other. You can sit on a pillow, but remember to zip up just a little bit. And if you'd like, you can follow me down. I can be pressing with my leg here. I can be practicing the good morning stretch with my torso here. Gentle, easy mobility, and then bring it down. Static stretch. Make it dynamic but invisible. Press with the leg, reach with the top of the head, then rest. Press with the leg, reach with the top of the head, then rest. Press and reach and rest. So you got a little bit of mobility basically in this static stretch. A little bit of mobility in a static stretch. You're sort of at the edge of what you can do, and yet you can still find some mobility there. Let's bring it up, bring that back leg over or past if you got it in you. Wonderful, wonderful dynamic stretch for the lower torso. I'm sorry, the lower body, the legs. And the lower torso is working kind of hard. The lower core is working kind of hard organizing everything, but we've got the upper core. Twist and untwist, gentle, easy. And let's come to all fours. Cat and cow. Why not? The back moves very gently and easily in this dimension. You can curl your toes under, you can turn your palms up, play with your feet, stretch them out, and the hands and the wrists. Good. Warm-ups, wag the dog, to one side then the other. Gentle, easy mobility. We're asymmetric, aren't we? And we're comfortable with that. So let's add a little bit of work to it. Falling into the push-up, other side. Falling into the push-up, back and forth. gentle, easy, and at the same time, intense in the sense that there's real work going on all the way up to one side of the back and down the other side. And it's a little bit different depending on which side of the back it is. Bring it all to center. One leg, reach and pull. Now the torso in this is kind of mobile. You can arch and round your back. We can add the opposite arm. That's your convenience or at your comfort level. And let's reach out and hold little arm circles. And if you'd like little leg circles, this is good for figuring out mobility and sense of the hip and the shoulder in space. And it's also good because it throws us off balance a little bit in the center. Reverse directions and switch sides. Got my arm and my leg going. Torso is not real rigid, not real contained. It's kind of just playful here. But when we reach out now, zip it up. The torso holds still. And if you'd like some arm circles, leg circles, and reverse. There's a little bit of coordination there, isn't there? And let's play with our standing up and getting down. You might need to use a prop for this, a couch, a countertop, because we're looking for the easiest way to do the exercise. That's how we start the exercise. That's how we warm up. In other words, check in with the entire body, make sure everything's working fine. And if there is a weak link, finding it then. Finding it before we go further. If you want to go further, hands on the floor. And as you can see, we're doing the lunge. You can get your hands off the floor. There's also squats and forward folds that play into this, but getting up and getting down is what I name this exercise because it's functional. It's something that you're going to do every day. Another functional exercise before you even open your eyes in the morning. Turn your head left and right. Why? Because it's easy, it's obvious, it's the neck. It's good to take care of the neck for a lot of reasons, and we'll do some neck workouts in this workout routine, which is kind of unique. Gentle, easy mobility to the neck. We sit up. Here we go, a little twist. This is pretty complicated. This is the lower core doing pretty complicated stuff, but it's also something you're very familiar with. So it's easy to make it look real good. Switch the progression. The knees and nose will point straight forward as the upper core twists and untwists, twists and untwists. And the progression, sometimes it's not as good of an exercise as each of the individual exercises, but oftentimes we can jump to the progression and still get the benefit of those easier exercises. Before you're ready to get out of bed in the morning, we're going to warm up. Holding the core very strong and still. Holding your torso really strong and still. This is an easy exercise, so it's easy to get sloppy, but I want you to be very prim and proper with this. We've advanced the exercise. Again, the core is very still and secure because that's what's stabilizing. That's what's anchoring this motion. This exercise, walking, right? You can do this while sitting at a computer. You can do it while slouched back in your chair watching a movie. You can almost always take a little walk. It's not a great exercise in the sense that you're going to really get an efficient workout. And at the same time, the way that that walk works, the asymmetry, the way that you anchor that in your body is all just great thing to maintain good posture. It's an excellent tool. And switch. One ankle, then the other, just to take care of the ankles, the periphery, the wrists if you'd like. We're almost ready for class. Let's dive down. Wake up, fall asleep. Wake up, fall asleep. Heel taps and rest. Go and rest. Reaching out. A mat class generally is going to be focusing on the back and the core, and just about everything that you do with the core, you're going to be doing some with the back core. And so we want to prep ourselves. We want to get ourselves ready for that. That's what a warm-up is. You're basically doing the exercise you're going to work out on, but you're doing it at a really light level so that you can find your weakest link. You can correct it. You don't push too far. Oh, I just love that warm up. All right, we're just about ready to get started. We start in napping position A, the easiest, most obvious position. Resting. Welcome to class. My name's Jonathan. We're going to work the core, which is the core of the entire body, but within every joint, there is a little core. There are stabilizer muscles. And we're going to work the core of the core, which I call the anchor. And in that way, we'll get a very efficient workout. One of the goals of class is to get a workout, right? To work as many joints and muscles in the body as we can. So I'm warming up my shoulders. I'm half asleep. Switch. Point your hands to the sky. Press gently, press gently, press. And then release. Press your hands gently together, then release. Repetitive exercise like this, it sets our mindset a little more relaxed. Things seem a little more predictable and safe. We can do this invisibly. Hands and knees press together, then release. Hands and knees press together, then release. Feel your center line, zip up. Ready, begin. Open and close. Breath in, breath out. Gentle and easy mobility. My background, I started doing judo as a kid and got injured too much, so I switched to Tai Chi. And Tai Chi is wonderful, and I've learned so much. Most of what I've learned, I think I would credit to my Tai Chi classes right here in St. Paul as well as elsewhere. And then I switched over to Pilates, and I found it a lot more accessible, more obvious, which is good and bad. Here, we're breathing in the nose, out the mouth. So it's relaxed but obvious. Switch. Reach overhead a little ways, breath in, breath out, come home. Breath in, bring it home. So these core stability exercises, it's interesting because in Tai Chi, we spend a lot of time trying to find and work from our center of gravity. Well, that center of gravity becomes very obvious in the core mat exercises like this. Right now, it's holding true. As I zip up, everything is anchored down to my center of gravity. And the center of gravity is right in front of the anchor. The anchor is that part of your backbone that's made up of the sacrum, L5, and L4. That's the core of your core. Let's take a little switch. We're going to put our hands together. Give your head a shake as it nodded up, and a shake as you let it back down. Shake, nodding, shaking, nodding up, shaking, nodding back down. So the head and neck are doing basically nothing. The arms are doing just a little bit, right? It is a little bit of work, but not much. So they can relax mostly. Your head and neck can be relaxed, or you can push back into your hands. Whatever you're doing, you're using the muscles of your neck and shoulders. And that's just a message for the entire class. We will use the body so that it teaches us how best to hold itself together. Switch. Oh, very relaxed, still half asleep here. Walking. It's a little bit of work holding my head and neck up again, but it's not that much. It's a little bit of work lifting and lowering one leg than the other. Not too much. But this is the easiest darn exercise because we're working, just like we're walking down the street, just like we're running a mile. We're working in that same pattern. It's just the easiest darn way to do it. From this point, one leg to the sky, leg lifts, reach out with that leg, reach it out. If you need to warm up your ankle, now's a good time. Do a few on one side, then a few on the other. I like this because notice how the torso is still, the leg is long and poised. My neck, my knee, my ankle can be soft, and still I'm reaching out of the leg and I'm reaching out of the top of the head. So there's that poise that's very natural and obvious in the leg because there's only a couple of joints. As complex as these joints are, there's just a couple of them. Think of that complexity all the way up your backbone, that same complexity. And that's kind of what we're trying to learn about in this class, using that core and then resting it. Lying down, the core is rested generally. It's still working a little bit, but it's mostly rested. Point both feet to the sky, pow. That's your lower core come to work. Back off as needed to the previous exercise or follow me. Let's drop them down a little ways, not too far. Take a rest. Start over, breath in, breath out. Reach, reach, and rest. A couple of techniques. Instead of doing a hard workout once or twice, we're doing an easier workout many times. So we're working with the weakest link. We're discovering the body in that way. We're also applying the breath. Breath in to reach, breath out to rest, breath in to reach, breath out to rest. And if you'd like to ramp this up even further, eagle, eagle. So we've got repetition of a generally easy exercise. I'm not lowering my legs super far. We've got the good morning stretch, reaching out, and we've got the breath. These three come together and make for a wonderful, wonderful workout, finding strength in the core at the same time as we're reaching it out. Finishing up. Let's rest. Let's make snow angels with the arms. I'm sorry, not snow angels, snow cone, I call this. Because when we keep our arms right here where we're really capable and sure and safe, we can figure out if anything is not feeling perfect in the shoulders. If you'd like to go deeper, snow angel wise, you can hover your knuckles over the floor. I like to play with my peripheral vision, so it's a neurological test. And it's not necessarily testing today, although we can test for symmetry. It's also testing over time, so we can see if things are changing. Let's add the funnest part of all to this, the arching of the back, the flattening of the back. Your lower back arches up and flattens down. Mobility is a wonderful thing. And we play with mobility at many times during class. And then sort of its opposite is compression and contraction. So it's nice to be mobile in the back. The back loves this. It's like, oh yeah, I haven't moved like that in a while. And it's in a very easy posture because we're lying down. Switch. Let's face the real world though. The feet come off the floor. Now your lower core is going to stay very still. Snow angels. And if you'd like, add the leg. Couple more. Kind of love this. It's kind of a challenging exercise, so go easy. It's just to reach from center, pull to center. Reach from center, pull to center. And rest. So that was supposed to be a resting mode, but it gets kind of more and more challenging as time goes on. But that's a good little workout. Let's go back to a rest. And this time it's just the neck. Turn your head left and right, back and forth. Because taking care of the neck is kind of easy and obvious. So it's something I encourage you to do. And it also reminds us of all this knowledge we're getting in the body. Switch. Hip your knees left and right. Keeping this exercise really small, really small. I'm getting a little twist to my lower spine. And what I would say is if I keep it super small, this is an exercise that's isolating and giving free play to the anchor, the sacrum, L5, L4. Those three bones that are so central to everything that we do. When we keep this exercise very small, we're putting our attention right there. A little massage, a little mobility. Now, you can take it bigger, and you probably already have. This big twist is a very nice exercise. It's just kind of bigger and not as subtle. So remember that small exercise, come back to this if you get tired during any of the workouts. It's a great home base to come back to. Let's bring it all to center. Fingers and toes to the sky. You ready for possum? Possum, reach out of the hands, reach out of the feet. Mouth open, tongue out. Ah, ah. Couple more. Ah, ah. Good. Switch. Butterfly. Easy. If this is all it took to fly, would you do it? I think you would. It is some work, not a ton of work. But it's a nice way to bring our attention to the center line. Finishing up. Kind of love that because it's sort of gentle and easy, but it still works. High, low. High, low. High, low. Reach and pull. Gentle, easy exercise. Gentle on the shoulders. And at the same time, a good way to explore the shoulders. Gentle on the neck. And at the same time, it's kind of demanding pushing the neck around. So you get a quick neck massage. And this sets us up for Strider. Strider. You don't need to go low with the leg. You're going to be working hard. So easy. We don't work tons of strength, but we rep it in. We reach it out and we add the breath. Couple more. I kind of love that. And to rest this time, we're going to use our claspers, rock the boat. In a sense, this class is a sort of a broadcast style of teaching where I'm throwing a bunch of different exercises at you. Hopefully something sticks. This should be restful and easy. And if you got it in you, poise, reaching out of the legs, Viking long shift. Ooh, switch it up. Let's use our claspers again. Just clasp onto one leg and hang here for a moment. Clasp onto the other leg. Simple, easy. There's a little bit of work going on, but it's mostly in the claspers. Side to side. Let's add to this. Same thing with the leg, arms, but the leg is going to reach. The leg is going to reach. So a little bit of zing, reaching out of the legs. Good morning, stretch out of the legs and out of the top of the head, of course. Wonderful way to warm up the hip. Give it some attention. And let's switch. Push and pull. Pull and push. Back and forth. Find that bicep strength. Your leg is much more powerful than your arm, but you can get a really nice workout with the arm. You can add some modifications if you'd like. And switch. This is more restful. One clasper on the opposite shin. Switch. So there's a wonderful twist. We're hanging upside down here, and we're gently twisting the torso. But this should be pretty restful. And it sets up the next one, which is kind of restful, but kind of an explosion. So be ready to catch the explosion, push away, push away. At some point, pow, it's gonna go. You don't get to decide exactly when. Basically, we're putting our clasper strength, which is overpowered, up against our leg strength, which is definitely overpowered. At some point, the leg goes rocketing away and you have to catch it and pull it back in. Love that. It's shocking. Nice little change to the safety of the workout. It's not that it's unsafe, it's just that it feels like more of the real world coming into the studio. Let's lay back and turn our head left and right. Remember, why not check in with the neck? Tip your knees left and right, keeping it real small. You can add the arms, thinking from the anchor. We'll talk about the anchor more. We'll talk about the neck more. But for now, I'd say we're pretty well warmed up. We've checked in with most of the body. So let's just come to center, ready to work. Crunch up. If you need to hold your head up, that's no problem. This doesn't need to be a lot of work, but we're going to make it a lot of work. All right. I want you to make it work. Make your core clench. You're drawing down towards your anchor, pulling it all down. If you want a little bit more, get the legs off the floor. We're working. We're applying ourselves. We're making it dense, dense, dense. Now, watch what I do with the breath in, then and now. Breath out, find that density. Draw out just the top little bit, and then start it all over. Good. So it's 1/3 intensity and work and applying yourself as hard as you can. 1/3 taking a little leap of faith off of that, and 1/3 completely asleep. Love it. And if you want a little more, send those legs out. Especially now as we reach overhead. Nice, nice core workout here. Switch it up. Both hands to one side, and you can bring in that knee if you'd like. Both hands to the other. Back and forth, one side then the other. Finishing up. Lower core is still unstable. Let's bring it up to center and just rest here a moment. You can slap the surface like you're lying in a beautiful spa. About 3-inch, 6-inch deep water. Your head is pillowed, floating. You're just slapping the surface. Give your neck a rest if you need. If you got it in you, send those legs long. Turn your palms up. Reach it out, reach it out. Find that good morning stretch as you reach out of the legs, the hands, the top of the head. Turn your palms back down. Static position. And at the same time, there's a lot going on. We can add some mobility to the hip if you'd like, keeping the core still. Turn your palms up. We're almost there. Reach it out, reach it out. We have a nice big rest coming next. So give it a little more. Use your claspers, clasp your toes. Rest. I love it. Love that rest. And rest. Hands together, feet together, shoulders open, hips open. Kind of a weird rest. So let's mess with it. Walk. Walk. Think from your anchor. Your anchor is sliding across the mat and sliding back. And it's more than that. It's zing. It's going to one side and then zing, going back. It's not really a playful sway. It's serious business, all right? It's going to one side, then it's going to the other, 100%. So that's what our core does every step we take as we walk. Let's bring our knees together and bridge up. Being upside down like this is kind of therapeutic. So enjoy it for a moment. This should be very restful. Your back is great. Upside down, which is very educational. It's a good contrast, right? We learn from contrast. Let's walk, walk, walk. Now you could say your hips sway, but really it's a segment and it's very sharply defined. I'm 100% on one side, 100% on the other. And there's a little in between where I'm switching. But when we're walking, we're definitely standing on one foot and standing balanced, perfectly balanced on the other. We make it look so easy. All right, another contrast exercise. We're going to contrast expansion. Good morning stretch. And we're going to contrast that with compression or contraction. So we're up, 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 up. You can come up on the balls of your feet. You might even come up pressing with the arms. I can't lift myself up. I'm too restful for that. Front of the body up, expansion. Feel the expansion. Up and forward, up and forward. And let's contrast that with contraction. Child's position, curling up in a ball. Now my whole body is working and unworking. It's doing it all. But my breath is relaxed. My face is relaxed. You can't tell there's a ton of work going on down here. And rest. One leg dip, then the other dip. Keep it easy, keep it gentle. If you got it in you, go a little bit longer. This is a traditional exercise where we try to keep the shins pretty much, not necessarily parallel, but not wobbly, right? Lined up real nice. But I like to take it further and add the twist crunch because why not? It's so efficient, so much workout. Gentle, safe, and at the same time, wow, there's a lot of your body working. And if you'd like, mountain climber. In a sense, it's a super easy mountain you're climbing. It's so safe. And in another sense, wow, this is a lot of work, a lot of your body, very efficient workout. So what we'll do next is we'll go back through some of the more interesting or efficient workouts that you just learned. So we'll rep them in one more time. Start with a rest. We're going to lie back, snow cone. Arch your back up, press your back down. Why not? Big mobility to the back. If you'd like snow angels with the arms, arch your back, arch it up. Oh, that feels good. Press it back down. And when you're ready, getting the feet off the floor. Lower core is still. Lower core is still. Legs, no angels. Two more. Big reach, big pull. Extremities and pull the core. Take a rest, but keep one leg moving. Ah, that feels nice and restful. Poise in the leg, reaching out of that leg, reaching out of the top of the head. So stick with these if you need, or follow me. Toes to the sky, let them fall off, collapse in, and start over. Breath in, breath out. Love this exercise because it just dials in right there, right where we need it, that lower core strength. And if you'd like, eagle. Putting it all together, that lower core strength, that poise, holding the core still. Front, 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 this unity of work. Everything is working towards the front. Let's take that unity and switch, divide it in two. We get things done in the world by walking, not by staying still. So if everything is unified and unitary, that's wonderful. We can get some stuff done like that. We've got a ton of power when we're in that eagle position, that unified position. But when we walk it out, like Strider, that's how we get things done. And rest. Rest the legs, rest your neck if you need. Slapping the surface. And if you've got it in, your legs go long. Turn your palms up. You can start bobbing the legs. Quite challenging, so underdo it. Keep that core strong and still. Turn your palms down. Find your sweet spot with the legs and just hover there. Little heel taps twisting across, 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 across. Turn your palms up. We're almost there. Good. Eyes up here. Twist, crunch, crunch, twist, twist, twist. Go, go. Good. Mountain climber. Lot of front core with a walk from that far leg to the far arm. Finishing up, nice rest coming next. Put your claspers to work, clasp your toes, and rest. And rest. Kind of a weird position to be in, the shoulders and the hips, so play around with it. And my back tends to arch up too high, so I need to play around with that. Some of these exercises, you might need cues as to what you're really working on. This one, the anchor, the anchor. You're not restricting the anchor. It does what it does. And we try to figure out how to support it, how to refine our support for the anchor so that it works even better than before, and so that it trusts us. It trusts us. And in that way, it's more resilient and more communicative. Everything works together better. Bring your knees together, bridge up, and walk. Again, the anchor is really what's important in this exercise. Good. Let's just hold it still for a moment. Hanging upside down, again, we're draping the backbone. So that's a nice contrast. We learn how to hold the backbone together through contrast. Shake the hips left and right as you lower down. Breath in, bridge up, shake down. Take your time, play around with it, steal this exercise. Especially after you've worked out real hard. I feel like I really worked my front core, probably the back and sides too. And this is an excellent way after a nice, strong core workout to really get the benefit of that. Figuring out exactly how the core should hold itself together. We use the core so it teaches us that, and then we shake it out and it releases all that information. One more time, and switch. Put your hands together, cradle to your head, shake it up, shake it down. Taking all that knowledge from the core, uploading it to the neck. At the same time, we take care of the neck, and we're done with the front. We're going to move to the back and sides. Well, let's finish up. Let's finish up with the front core. Careful of the knees, don't go too low. High a bow. Simple as that. Torso stays still, still. Isolating in order to integrate. Pivoting at the shoulder and the hip, and then of course the knees and the elbows a little bit too. So it seems real simple. There's a lot going on. Finish up, finish up. So we're learning our perfect posture. Let's take that perfect posture, melt it, melt it, melt it, inevitably into the ground. Other side, find your perfect posture, tips rolling, rolling playfully to the ground. Find it. This time we're just going to let it all shatter. Take all that perfect posture and let it go. Let it go. Find it and roll it out. Roll it out. Facing this way. Napping position B. Wake up and fall asleep. Wake up and fall asleep. Reaching out. This is a good morning stretch. Out the arm, out the legs. You're mostly going horizontal, gentle, easy workout. So side crunch, we're not going to dwell too much on side crunch, just a little bit. I've got my hand down in front of my belly button. I'm leaning away, then leaning in. Lean away, lean in. Gentle on the hip bone. There's a lot of poise, a lot of balance that's going on here. But just like walking down the street, which we're basically falling and stumbling the whole way, but we do it so elegantly. Here we can practice this and do this very elegantly, but still there's a lot of responsiveness going on in the body. And let's focus on that response. I'm right in the middle. I'm about to tip to the front, about to tip to the back. I'm going to take a nap here, but that top leg decides it needs to go for a jog. Leg circle is a great workout for the hip, but we're using it to disrupt our balance, throw us off balance. So the anchor has to pull itself back home, falling and then pulling itself back home, a little bit bigger circles, and rest at the hip, but the ankle keeps turning. Nod your head, yes. And reverse, wrists, neck, ankles, all the periphery, work it out, and back to the core, leg circle in that new direction. A little bit bigger, falling and catching. Essential workout right at the center line. And we're done. Kick rest. Kick rest. Roll to your belly to shrug. Simple, gentle, obvious. Everyone knows how to shrug. And your body loves you for it, right? That's mobility. All this mobility, use it. And your body will say, oh, that feels good. And of course, we don't want to be hypermobile. We're working on that, the compression, contraction, the other ways that we hold together. And even our good morning stretch is a way of holding the body together and not just opening up to complete mobility. We're on our bellies, we're working our backs, all right? Little kick, big stretch. Other side, little kick, big stretch. I just love that. Delicious. Little bit of work in the glute and the opposite lower back. My right glute, my left lower back. And all the way up to the shoulder too. So there's complementarity, left to lower left to upper right. Love this workout. It's so gentle, so perfect for the lower back. If you like this and want to stay here, stay with doing that. Or if you'd like to come down on your belly, you can follow me down. And then levitate up. Hands back behind you makes it a little easier, actually. Hands overhead makes it harder. Good. Nice workout for the back. Focused on the back. Jostling the back, kind of playful, and then asking it to work and poise out, reach out. Finishing up, let's come up to cat and cow. For most of us, maintaining good posture in the back is really important. The back, the lower back especially, and it's very close to the hips, maintaining good posture in the hips This is very important as well. You can check in with your wrists, with your toes. And switch. Wag the dog. One side, then the other. Silly little exercise, but I just love this one. Add the push-up. There you go. So you take that gentle side bend, which, like most mobility exercises, just feels darn good. And then you ask your body to work and click, click, click. Everything lines up just perfect. So a gentle way to encourage your body to line everything up just right. Let's come to center, little elbow up, up, other side. Elbow up, up, back and forth. It's not about the elbow. It's about the twist, twist, right at the center. Good. And bring your knees to your hands. Turn this way, napping position B2. I love this because we've worked hard. We're going to do more work. We're going to do more back work, especially. But we've worked hard, so it's kind of like, well, we could just pause here. And we're not just going to lie still, but we're going to actually reach ourselves taller. Set yourself down, then lie still. Breath in, reach taller. Set yourself down, lie still. So we're getting joint expansion in two ways. One by reaching out, and one by letting gravity drag us, let friction on the floor grab us a little taller. Good. Switch it up. Lean away. Lean in. Lean away. Lean in. So in this way, we're getting front, back, and both sides. We did front core for a good while. We do a little bit more back core because that's really important. And the side core, we're not really doing a ton with. We're just kind of playing around, especially here. Wonderful, playful, kind of gentle workout for the side core. And then we're still working the side core, but our focus is on the anchor. The anchor. So as that top leg starts circling, throwing us off balance, the anchor is the most efficient place to pull it all together to, right? So it's naturally working, falling and catching, a little bit bigger circle, and rest at the hip, but the ankle keeps turning. The ankle. Nod your head, yes. And reverse. The periphery, shake it out, and the core. Leg circles in that new direction, finishing up the cocoon. Spinning the cocoon, wrapping it up, falling and catching. The core, the anchor is exactly where we need to be working, and we're done. Kick it out, kick it out. Roll to your belly. Repetition is good for a lot of reasons. One is we've already done this. You've done this workout just a couple minutes ago. So your thoughts can really drift away, fall half asleep while you focus on your core, your shoulders as you shrug front to back, side to side, all that. And little kick, big stretch. Other side, little kick, big stretch. Your thoughts half asleep because you've done this before. Mostly horizontal. So it's a good morning stretch more than a big, obvious curve, right? It's subtle, it's kind of an invisible exercise. Switch. Now, when you come down on your belly, if you want to join me down here and levitate up, the compression that your front core is feeling is fascinating. Your front core is working hard, just like being leather, holding the body off the mat, holding your organs and your backbone and everything together. So this is an intense workout for the front core. And I think that's partly because we tend to think from the front core, so we've got more sympathy for the front core. The sides and the back are doing this stuff all the time and don't get that affirmation. So give that affirmation to the rest of the body as well. From this position, we've got a couple more intense workouts. So back off as needed, rocking horse. Again, the front core is being compressed. That line up the belly and rock and roll. And if you'd like, swan dive, we'll finish with this. Let it come to a stop and rest. Cat and cow. That's pretty intense, a lot of work for the back. So we take a moment to check in, make sure everything's working just fine. Wag the dog, side to side. Wag the dog with the push-up. Back and forth, gentle and easy. Good, let's dive down again for swimming. Swimming. Now, if you need to stay off your belly again, this is like my favorite workout right here, so stick with that. But if you can follow me down, right arm, left leg, and rest. Same exact thing, right arm, left leg, and rest. Couple more. So we're setting up a pattern, just like if you're right-handed or left-handed, you've got a pattern. Let's do the opposite now. Left arm, right leg, left arm, right leg. Reach and rest. Breath in, breath out. Now put them together. One diagonal, rest, followed by the other diagonal, rest. Perfect exercise. It even has a nap. It's not super intense. And just as we spent so much time in Tai Chi trying to figure out exactly where the center of gravity is, here you go. Here you go. It's right there, right at that point of that X. We can make this a little bit more intense if you'd like. Follow me for swimming. Arms are long, legs long. Nose down, thumbs up, staccato motion. Reach it out, reach it out. And rest. Let's come all the way back home to child's position. My hands press into the mat. My belly pulls me back home. Continue. Hands press. Belly pulls. If you'd like, curl your toes under. That just feels too darn good. Now this gets a lot more intense on the shoulders, but if you'd like, you can levitate your knees. Torso stays still. Torso stays still. And a lot more challenging on the shoulders, but if you'd like, downward dog. Little back bend, but then the torso stays still, still, still. Finishing up. A lot of intensity there. I'm going to bring my left leg forward, push away, push away. All right, gentle, easy, warming up that leg. You can go into the deep stretch if you'd like, but this is a leg press. This is the exercise I most miss, not going to the gym often enough. So I can do it at home. I can hang onto a countertop if I need, or a couch. Finding that leg press, finding where you're comfortable. Now here's the challenge. An interesting challenge. We've got stabilized, unstabilized. Notice how many little stabilizer muscles, little initiator muscles have to come to work to let that happen. Be unstabilized. Good. Bring it back down. Active, cool down. Same exact joints and muscles, but just very relaxed. Watch my hands. I'm going to stabilize as I get a nice stretch in one hip, then the other. This is somebody pulls out a frisbee or a soccer ball. Say, give me 10 seconds. I'll warm up my inner thigh, my hips, attach them to the core just right, football style. Good, and speed skater style. 100% go. 100% go. Good. Nice little workout there. It's kind of halfway between mat and non-mat workout. So, and around the other leg just to get symmetry. You can add some intensity with your leg press. Find that strength. And if you've got it in you can play with stability. Take the stabilizers away. A lot of intensity, a lot of work going on in those tiny little muscles in the ankle, the knees, and the hips. Fascinating, active cool down. So our body has all these stabilizers. And that's kind of what we're trying to figure out in this workout. How to work those stabilizers, how to maintain them and support them and follow them and refine their potential. Gentle, easy workout here. If you'd like. We're sitting up, we're in a new terrain. So a couple of things we can do. We can look for the easiest darn workout, which I think this is. We can take a walk. And what this is prepping us for is roll up. So if you want to play with roll up, follow me. Otherwise, you can use your hands to get yourself up and down. Roll up is quite challenging, in part because the longer my legs are, the better of a roll up I can do. Right? If my legs are long, I've got more to counterbalance. So play around with that. And we're going to do a little roll up later. But for now, we're going to sit up. Sit up at the big kids table. There it is. Got some mobility. Lighten your grip on the legs if you can. Try to keep those shins level, that table level. And sitting at the big kids table. Quite challenging. Stay in your comfort zone. A lot of work going on here. 3 more, and then we get a nice long rest. My favorite rest. Isometric. Push into the knee pushes back. Not a lot, right? It's invisible exercise. Other side. There's a little bit of force going all through all of this stuff. The thing is I can see it, and I feel like I understand it. All right, you feel like you understand that? Switch, pull instead of push. All of a sudden you can't see this stuff. It's invisible. You close your eyes and you're still like, wow, how do I feel such a novice at this part of my body, where the front of my body, I think we're kidding ourselves when we think we understand it as well as we do. But we've got a technique for exploring the parts of the body that we don't often get to. And the neck. Very important to take care of your neck. So I'm going to pull on my neck, stressing and straining these muscles. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Switch, pull. Shake your head no, nod your head yes. Looking for that mechanical advantage of getting taller. Push instead of pull. Taking care of the neck. Other side. Because like it's hard to find someone who's willing to put hands on your neck. There's no machine you can strap your head and neck into. So you got to take care of it yourself. Taking care of the neck is a wonderful way to not only keep one part of your body in excellent shape as a reminder to the rest of your body that you plan on keeping it in good shape, and it also is very similar to and very easily remembers all of the strength up and down the core of the body. So keeping the neck poised and tall, keeping the mobility in the neck is super important. Let's sit up. We're going to take this absurdly tall posture and challenge that. Eyes on your thumb, tilt and twist. Eyes on your thumb. Reach out This is one of those where we really apply ourselves. We could reach out the legs, reach out the arms, reach out the top of the head. Good. Bring it to the foot of the mat. Sitting up, levitate up. I can get my arms up easy, but my legs, wow, that's a challenge. We're going to come up from roll up into this posture. But first, we're going to go back and practice kangaroo kicks. All right, so relaxed here. Kick up, slow down the descent. Easy up, slow it back down. Stay in your comfort zone. If you're just barely getting off the mat, keep working at that. That's the most challenging part of the kangaroo kick, is that last 3/4 of an inch. And if you'd like, I'm going to go from rollover into roll up into teaser. And that roll up into teaser just makes a lot of sense. Adding the rollover that's pretty high level, but it's nice to throw that in. And let's sit up, come up and down. I've got my hands pretty strong. This is a tricep dip sort of an exercise. If you're comfortable with that, you might be comfortable with walking, walking, walking. And then the L sit. Swing, 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 swing. One more. Swing, swing. Other leg. Good. One more set. Finish up. Trying to pull my belly button, my hips past my wrists, keeping that leg long and poised and the torso poised as well. Great little workout. All right, and we're sitting up. It's arching around the back. I'm going to rock back on the mat here, so we got plenty of room. Open V rocker. Reach. Push your belly into rock, rock. Push it out to stop. Open V rocker teaches itself. Get those legs long and poised. Lighten your grip on the legs. Finishing up. We're lying back down. Napping position A. You can take a nap here if you'd like, or you can follow me with kangaroo kicks. Easy up. Blow it back down. Easy up. Blow it down. Two more. Good. A little breath exercise. Breath out the mouth, out the mouth, out the mouth. Kind of relaxing. Feel kind of inflated. Really, breath out, 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 deep down, the base of your diaphragm. Finishing up. And lower body, little scissors, long and poised. Good. You can let go of the legs, and if you got some heat you want to get out, big scissors, I always warm up a bit when I move on with this. Torso is still and poised, stabilizing. The anchor is stabilizing for all this work. And to rest, claspers, twister. Reach across, reach across. Reach across, reach across. And rest. Napping position A. Your backbone is in a perfect neutral spine. The challenge is, how do we remember this when we stand up? I've got a trick for you. Napping position B. Wake up. Fall asleep. 2 more. Just checking in, doing the rounds. Napping position C. Heel taps and rest. Where we began, that's where we end. Working the back, then resting. 2 more. I love these back workouts. They're so beneficial. Napping position B2. Wake up, fall asleep. 2 more. And napping position A. Put your hands together, crunch up. Draw a circle. And reverse. Get your feet off the floor. All of a sudden, the stabilizing comes into work when the feet are off the floor. And point your toes to the sky. Figure 8. That complementarity, upper left, lower right, circling it out like this. There's a ton going on here. Bring it all to center. All that perfect posture. Tip, melt it into the groove. Find it again, fresh and new. Tip, rolling playfully to the ground. Tip, dash it to the ground. Finish up. Tip. And we're ready to walk out of here. I've got a couple of standing poses for you. We'll keep it simple. Let's just take a dive over forward. 2 more like that. Diving forward. Good. So the breath integrates everything together, doesn't it? Reverse. Hit the wall and drop, 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 drop. Good. Reverse, hit the wall, drop, 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 drop. Last one. Drop, 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 drop. Let's just keep it here. This is your napping position A. When you're standing, you can go find a wall and stand next to it, or a doorway and stand next to it. But if I just stand in the middle of space and drop, 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 my body is going to naturally go to the easiest point. That is napping position A. This is also a nice little squat. So we can do this as a split squat, and we get twice as much workout. Nice little workout, invisible workout. You can take this anywhere. It aligns your torso, gives you that darn good glute and hip workout that the squat brings. And let's bring it all to center. Belly dancer. My head is staying still as I'm circling. My head is staying still. Let's bring that down a little lower. The middle of my thoracic vertebrae, there's a point there that's still and a point next to it that's not. Bring it down lower. You could play all the way up and down the back with this. We're just going to breeze right through it and bring it down smaller and stop, 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 drop, 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 drop. Reverse direction, little circles, a little bit bigger and bigger. Good. Lazy person, sit up. You ready? Get that hand ready. The other hand. Last one, both hands. Wash your hands. Stomp your feet till you get exactly what you need. And thank you guys so much. I get tons out of these workouts. I love the feeling that I have during when I'm just stretching out and it's like, this isn't work. And the feeling I have after where I'm all relaxed and full of breath. I encourage you to get some water. Don't get sedentary too quick. Take care of yourselves.